Welcome back to the Press Club. Thank you for staying tuned. We just discussed a very important topic, one that affects every youth, every St. Lucian. It affects our society, and it speaks to the direction that we're taking and the future of our country, that is underage drinking, and that recent report that puts St. Lucia right up there in the Caribbean as having the highest prevalence of underage drinking, and that is very disturbing indeed. To my top story, the VAT. I mean, the Prime Minister announced that VAT will be implemented as of September 1st this year. He did that about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And since then, we have been arguing back and forth about VAT, the merits, the demerits, you know, the information that has or has not been forthcoming as far as VAT is concerned. As far as I'm concerned, VAT has been a consideration for at least 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And it's just bemusing to me that at this point, we're arguing about not being prepared for VAT. I mean, we knew it was coming. You know, we'll go into the discussion on, you know, the reasons that VAT has to be implemented, and we can talk about why other people are influencing us to the point where we have to accept a system that might not necessarily work for us. But that argument about, you know, we are not ready, we need more time, I say 5 years, and I'm being very generous because I know VAT was in discussion since the former SLP administration.
Yes.
Okay? So one administration, the UWP administration, was there for 5 years. So it's much longer than 5 years that we have been considering VAT. And up to this point, the business community and certain sectors of our local community have not come to terms with VAT and what it is by probably just going up on the VAT information website and reading what VAT is all about, what taxes it will replace, what it is there to do, and what effect, net and gross effect, it will have on our economy. So
I mean,
what's the big
do we
deal?
realistically expect people in their free time to go on the internet? When I'm on the internet, brother, I try and Google VAT. You know, and let's be serious.
Well,
now.
now you're going to Google it.
If everything that I know about VAT has been because the VAT office has sent me some information. Now, having said that, they have done work to educate people in St. Lucia, but the VAT communication strategy, their public relations education campaign, whatever it's called, has to be the most sucking education campaign in the history of public relations and education campaigns.
Wow. Well, Jason, you could have been a little more direct, you know.
I was trying to be subtle. I mean, this thing, years and years have passed by. Politicians have tried to stall on this thing for ages because it's a tax. Nobody wants to have to implement a tax. The Labour government, when they were in before the last UWP government, knew that they had to implement VAT. It was a World Bank idea. They got stuck with it. It was going to be shoved down.
They lost the election instead of implementing the tax.
Exactly, right? 2 successive governments have lost elections rather than implement the VAT because nobody wants to have to do this thing. The current government, God bless them, realizes, let's not wait on this thing, because if we come up too close to another election,
we'll lose.
Nobody wants to implement a tax before an election, except maybe Alan Chastney, who tried to sell a beach before an election, right? Nobody wants.
That's a different story altogether.
Nobody wants to have to do that. But the fact that people are still discussing not knowing what will be implemented, not knowing how it works, I think this is a reflection on the communications campaign of the VAT office. That what were these people doing in all that time?
Well, you see, now, let me just...
I know that they've held workshops, I know they've held seminars, I know that they've distributed literature, etc., etc.
To their credit, well, not to their credit, to their in their defense,
yes.
a little. I'm not holding any brief for the VAT office.
Right.
But let's just consider the fact that one of the reasons might be that they were in limbo. you know, the governments have been stalling on it for so long that they don't know whether they're going or they're coming, whether it's going to be implemented or not. Yes, they give
So in
you,
the meantime, they do nothing, Clinton. That makes no sense.
well, no,
I
not
tell you
do
what-
nothing, but you don't know
I'll tell you
what to
what.
do. What should you do?
Every
should,
time
should
a-
you go on with an aggressive campaign to say it's coming, when the government has said, well, we don't want VAT, we don't know, you know, VAT is a bad thing, or
The
whatever.
nature of VAT has not changed ever since the idea first came up. It is the same as it was from the very beginning. Every time a government postponed implementing the VAT was a good opportunity for the VAT office to continue their communications and education campaign.
But you know
So
how we
that
do.
by now, everyone should know exactly what is going to happen. Everyone is supposed to know exactly what to expect, whether they are for it or against it. And let me just, I think maybe I need to be a little forthcoming here and say that I think VAT is just a bad idea. VAT is a way for the World Bank, it's a World Bank idea, it's a rich people idea to spread taxes out more evenly among poor people, where the truth about taxes is taxes are for money. You should tax rich people because they're the ones with the money.
Now, I disagree. I believe that VAT is a good idea in the sense that it will spread the tax burden in a more equitable
I
manner.
agree, that's what it does.
Now, the reason
That's a
is
bad
we are
idea.
so- yeah.
You
No,
should not
no, no.
spread the taxes more evenly. You
No,
should
why
relieve the
is-
poor people and put the burden where it can be carried, which
No,
is
you
among
can
people with
you
money.
can change the tax system where those people with the most money get
Have
to
you
pay
been
more,
looking at the
more tax.
American elections recently with Obama coming up and saying, like, people like him who are millionaires need to pay more taxes. The rich have to pay
I
more.
agree with that, but
when
you
you
don't
put a
use-
sales tax
You
on,
don't use VAT for that. You don't use VAT for that. You have different taxes where you tax the people. You have a millionaire tax or a billionaire tax or $10 million tax.
Right.
Where those people who make the most money, they contribute more to your economy without having to go through VAT. However, what I believe is there are so many people
Yeah.
who cheat on their taxes, who say, well, I make $20,000 a year, when in truth and in fact they make $80,000 a year, and there's no way that the government can recoup from that extra $60,000 that they're making, and there's nothing going back into the
there
economy.
are in fact ways to do that.
Well, I mean, we have not been implementing those ways. We know that. So there are a lot of people who slide under, you know, who fly under the radar, who are not detected, and the government loses a lot of money.
I
and
truly
that is the
believe
reason.
that the people who are going undetected and flying under the radar are little shops down in Canaries and in Bhutan where the people have a little tikai, a little timaje they're doing, and these people are not getting, now all of those people are going to get taxed.
No, but from what I understand, the VAT would not affect, you have to be grossing a certain amount. I can't remember exactly how much right now. You have to be grossing or making a certain amount of profit for a year for you to be eligible to collect VAT, you know, in the first place. But there are people like you, Jason, who might be in a better position than the tea boutique people
Right.
who just make ends meet, who cheat on their taxes. There are very innovative ways of.
And how is VAT
Not
going to
collect-
resolve that?
No, because
VAT does not address that.
VAT addresses that because you pay according to your consumption. So whether you say you make $20,000 or you make $80,000, when you go out and buy a car,
Yeah, now you're going to pay.
you have to pay.
Right.
Right? Because this is a way of tracking how you spend your money. So VAT is a way of collecting based on what people consume, and whether they claim they're making $100,000 when they're making $1 million or not, their consumption patterns would dictate
Okay.
that the VAT or the taxes are collected. And that is why I support that system. Now, I totally agree with you. All those mega millionaires who don't contribute anything to the economy and just give us stress and the whole governments and the society by the grounds, right? By, you know, using their money to influence whatever happens.
And hoarding it rather than making
exactly.
it circulate.
Yeah, go ahead and increase the taxes on these people. Have them put a little more value in their society by collecting more from what they take out of society in the first place. Because these are the same people who pay minimum wage, and we don't have a minimum wage, but under minimum wage for labor and that kind of thing. So let them pay.
Okay,
you know, but don't get rid of VAT. VAT is good as far
I think
as
I may have taken the discussion a little off track, discussing whether VAT is good or bad, and this is kind of irrelevant now because VAT is coming.
It's coming, yes.
Right? I'm going to have to pay it whether I like it or not, no matter how much I scream and rant about like it being a World Bank idea, and the World Bank is just full of bad ideas, except for the Solid Waste Management Authority. It's just full of bad ideas, and VAT is a four-letter,
like VAT.
And that VAT is a four-letter word to me, not. No matter what I say, the VAT is coming. The issue is that here we are, just a few months away from the implementation, and the majority of solutions do not clearly or fully understand this thing. Liking it or not is not the issue.
Right.
Understanding it is the issue.
Yes.
What we have had more than enough time. The politicians have stalled enough that the VAT Secretariat Office, whatever they're called down there, should have had. They have had more than enough time to do the education that was necessary. So. What were they doing out there? They have internet down there. Let's research their history and find out exactly what it is that they were doing down in that office that causes us to be at this point where ordinary solutions just have no idea what's going on with this thing.
Now, looking at the bigger social picture, I mean, I think VAT would have a negative impact on the poorer people in society.
Of course it will.
Major negative, because you're spending, I don't care about the zero-rated items and the fact that, you know, the Prime Minister was with me on Newsmaker Live a couple of weeks ago, that he said some of the prices will go down.
Yeah.
I think initially some of the prices might go down, but eventually they will go back up, right? And when your wages and your salaries have not gone up at a rate commensurate with the prices, the increase in prices, then you have less.
Basically, you've
power.
taken a salary cut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your money.
Basically,
does
all
not
of a sudden,
stretch
it's a big
as far.
squeeze that's coming in September,
Right.
and it's coming at a really bad time because the economy is really, really tight right now. The economy is practically been at a standstill for the past 4 months, with everybody waiting for the budget.
Now,
Unless something really excellent happens in this coming budget, and that we can see some change in the next few months, unless something happens in the world economy that turns things around, we're going to be in a situation where we have this crap economy, this tight, squeezing economy, and we're going to put another squeeze on it. Thank you, World Bank.
but Jason, also, you're talking about the timing of it. We're coming in September. VAT is coming in September.
As schools are open.
As school is opening.
My God. I hadn't even thought of that one.
Man, a lot of things to consider. So
I had not even thought of that one.
I don't know. I don't know if they'll stick to that.
The Labour government is just has to be happy that the United Workers' Party is in such a mess that they can't get 10,000 people out on the street to protest this thing.
Let's take a break. I know we'll talk a lot more about VAT. When we come back, we'll talk about some other issues. Our endemic species under threat on St. Lucia. Stay with us. Press Club continues right after this.